anything, I can save my voice a little bit after that march.
Right? Yeah.
Well, it's been, for my family, it's been almost a 10-year struggle at this point, and we're still fighting. And I know that 10 years doesn't seem like much to a lot of folks, but when you're living a nightmare that has a root cause in the justice system of the state of Texas, every day is an eternity. Every single day.
You going up?
Our system,
Is it
there are
recording?
not words for the atrocities that the system commits. There are not words to describe the vileness of the judicial system in the state of Texas, let alone in this nation. We are a nation of people who were outcasts from other countries. We came together to build a society of freedom and justice, and look what we do to each other. We incarcerate them for no reason except for political gain of the prosecutors, the district attorney's offices, and law enforcement. That's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Our society is not to trample each other. That's not what we came together as a nation for. It's sure not what our founding fathers intended, and I'm sure they roll in their graves considering where this nation has gone. From the stages of incarcerating our own people without just cause to the atrocities that we commit overseas, there is no end to this nation's arrogance. And by this nation, I mean the ruling forces that we choose, unfortunately, of the lesser evils. It is necessary for us to stand up and be heard. They think they represent what we want, but they're not listening to us. So we have to, with one resounding voice, be very clear that the law of parties is unjust and needs to be abolished. We need to be very clear that the death penalty is not what the American people want or need.
That's right.
We have enough blood on our hands. By God, don't let the state put more.
Woo! Yeah.
So I ask you, what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we
I
want it?
want to have a piece of paper here with all the members of the committee on calendars. I want to give you a little bit of what's going on right now. We've been lobbying all this session. We had a lobby day on March 24th with many of you out here. Many people from across the state of Texas came up here and met personally with members of the Texas legislature, asking them to pass the law of parties bill. We followed up with that with phone calls coming in from all parts of Texas. And then just this last week, we had a second round of meetings. We also testified in committee. And at the beginning of the session, no one thought that we really were going to be able to move this bill. But it was passed the House Criminal Jurisprudence Committee. So we are making progress. We can get this done, though, but we need a little bit more push from the people of Texas and from everybody out here. So what I have here are the members of the Calendars Committee, where the bill has to be voted on before it goes to the floor for a vote. So before everyone leaves today, I would like to ask you to take one of these pieces of paper and start making calls before you leave today. You can get out your cell phone, go over here to the grass, pull it out. They're actually in session today, but you'll reach their offices. Somebody may or may not pick it up. You can leave a voicemail. They'll get it when they get into the office. All you have to do is say, hi, I'm calling to tell you that I want you, the member of the House Calendars Committee, to vote House Bill 2267 out of committee and onto the floor, because I know we are going to get a majority of the entire House to vote for this, but we want it to get out of the Calendars Committee first. So please take one of these. The chair of the Calendars Committee is Brian McCall. His phone number, if you have anyone has a cell phone right now, is 463-0594. There are 13 other members. I know that we can get them 20, 50 calls today just from the people who are here. So please, come over here to the side, take one of these list of phone numbers and start making some phone calls. All right, thank you.
I want to invite up now the grandfather of Kenneth Foster Jr., someone who's a walking testament of how starting early and even with very little can help build a movement. So Lawrence Foster was an advocate of Kenneth before anyone had even heard of his case. So Lawrence Foster.
Who needs a phone number list? Thank each and every one of you for you coming out tonight, this afternoon. You know, it's very difficult for me to stand there and listen to all of the comments that were made by the individuals here that have relatives and friends on death row. And due to the law of parties, this is really a painstaking thing for to have an individual, a friend or a relative on death row. It so happened I'm one of the blessed ones that saw Kenny sentence commuted by Governor Perry. However, I know the feelings of each and every one of you that is here. Some of us cannot say that you recognize and understand the feeling that an individual has. However, it is not an easy task. It is something that digs deep in the heart and soul, and it really has an adverse effect upon the individual, his relatives, his friends, and everyone. And the reason I'm saying this, you that are supporting this, we all appreciate your support. I know within itself, we would never have had Kenny sentence commuted if it would not have been for individuals like you that's here now. You are the ones that made this so. It is not something that one individual made, it is collectively, but you as an individual, you have been responsible, you have really been instrumental in the success of all of the actions that have taken place thus far. And there are many more bills and things that we are going to work together and get it done, regardless of what it takes, come hell or high water, we are going to do it.
That's right.
We're going to get these bills passed. So let's take into consideration what each and every one has said here today, and let's do what we can. Come back, and each opportunity that you get when we have rallies or anything else, when we visit the various offices and so forth, the congressmen, senators, or whatever, make yourself available if at all possible and participate. Thank each and every one of you.
All right, thank you, Lawrence.